Somebody said something about underwater.
Ah, yes. I marked that one.
Thank you. Oh boy.
Anyway.
No, immediately dangerous.
For several moments,
Okay.
I'll probably be back with my goblet of red liquid.
Oh, so you're announcing the time.
Oh, now we have to have that talk too, but yeah. This is mostly so something stupid doesn't happen and I lose my intelligence and try to eat something.
Oh, you're in the back of my class.
Yeah.
Well said.
I'm gonna say you come back.
Yep.
That's a 22 perception. What you got there?
Liquid,
Looks like wine.
basically.
Oh.
Why not the rest of us?
It's not very good for you.
But
So,
I like wine.
It's
what
really
is it?
strong.
Paladin just like, here's wine.
Oh, cool.
Jug.
Yay, wine. I think I'm going to need it.
Anyway, so we need to have that talk.
Yes, now, please.
What talk was that?
Explain everything to everyone so everything's in the open.
About?
Okay, no.
Are you
Sir
sure you
Strauss
want to
is
do
like
that?
patting his chest going,
I don't really want to, but I feel like they deserve to know.
I mean, that can change things drastically.
Other options
Not telling.
leads to not knowing, leads to why does it hurt when you go in the sunlight?
Would you just spit it out already?
Well, by all means.
I'm a vampire.
You're what?
I died.
But you seem pretty alive right now.
I hold my hand out to you. You can feel a pulse.
I look for a pulse.
Nope.
Sense motive.
Huh.
I believe you. And you're all the 99th percentile. Makes
So
a lot
you
of
never
sense.
noticed sunburns, a large hat.
House path or Theophane look towards the
The beast.
or
No,
the paladin or the priest.
I'm looking at a name. Well, I did think it was kind of odd for your arm to smoke earlier, but I just figured you were being very sensitive to the sun.
Extremely sensitive to the sun.
Beyond sensitive, too much in the sunlight, and she will turn into dust.
Oh, well, I'll heal you before then.
No.
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 Why not?
Being undead, you're subject to certain problems with positive energy versus negative energy.
Makes a lot of sense with the way you were acting.
When you're undead, negative energy is great for you. Positive energy kills you.
Do you have any healing spells yet?
One.
Yeah, I have my Cure Light Wounds.
One.
So the cleric.
So-
I need to remember that. The cleric pipes up. He's like,
I thought it was a paladin.
There's
There's a
paladin
cleric and a paladin.
I thought it was a paladin and a priest.
The priest is a cleric.
Yes. In Pathfinder, they use the word cleric, not priest.
Yeah, but in 90% of the cases, a priest
It's the
is a
same.
cleric.
So the cleric pipes up and like, your ability to heal the average person. You really should have taken those out of her face. Healed
She
them.
was injured. I can take them out later.
But if you attempted to use that same ability to heal Anasse, it would actually cause damage instead of healing.
Also,
Just like if
heal
I
naturally.
attempted right now to heal her, she would die.
So,
I slightly bare fangs like no.
so for her, evil is good and good is evil.
No, evil's still evil and good's still good.
That positive doesn't necessarily mean good, and negative doesn't necessarily mean bad. Like a necromancer is bad sometimes because he does evil acts by raising dead, but it doesn't mean he's evil.
But they create
Behave
their own
yourself
friends.
It means.
What do you think I've been doing?
It means that She did not choose to be evil by choice. She was forced into it by necessity. So while she has not done any evil deeds, she is still considered evil due to what she has become.
Blood.
For example, I don't need blood to live, but for some reason I crave it.
Just like all vampires. Pipes the paladin.
Slaughter house. Butcher, rather. We gotta deal with Butcher.
We do.
I do.
Deal with the butcher. Probably you and me both. You and I will deal with the butcher.
Well, agreed with myself. I actually created that deal specifically to assist.
This one.
That makes sense. So she doesn't suddenly get the urge to feed on any of the villagers.
Doesn't the blood get gloopy before you drink it? Yeah.
It's better than the alternative.
Well, our reactions are a lot calmer. I rolled 98 percentile.
I rolled a 90.
Actually, if it makes blood with certain other chemicals, it doesn't blindly.
I suggest wine.
Alcohol is pretty good at it.
You can always ice it.
Oh, that'd make it clump up even more.
No, you can turn it into an ice cream.
I don't want gel, blood gel.
Or you can turn it into a jello.
There you go.
Yeah,
Blood
the kids
jello.
actually show up and they're like, oh, the jello.
It doesn't taste good.
Everything's just like, oh, we'll have to figure out.
It's very irony.
We'll have to figure out some things for you, especially like a better
Hat.
everything.
Yeah. Also means I have access to a lot of other abilities that aren't necessarily helpful to most people.
You do anything to me,
You wouldn't know.
we will have problems. She's just like, when we make this anything, do anything, we will have problems.
Paladin speaks up. Speaking of which, and goes to touch you, and then he stops.
Like,
really about to touch you. He's like, right.
yeah.
I have spoken with a number of the villagers, and they are going to create a clothing option, let's say, for you.
Okay.
Something
I
a
can
little
only
bit
guess that
nicer.
it's for the, benefit of my existence. Considering you haven't killed me yet.
No, we believe you can be redeemed.
Redemption for me usually results in death still.
Let's not think about that part.
Anyway.
79% health. We should also maybe think about making you a basement bedroom.
I technically have access to one. It's in that room that I can't speak the name of.
You mean study?
No, that room you got lost in.
The big complex.
Yeah, it's very nice and dark.
We'll have to make
I kind of want to know why there are a whole bunch of vampires in there, though.
We'll have to make an excavation, a project. Because while you can walk there in the dark, there's also some things that I want to see myself as well. Like the library.
I mean, you can use light, it just... Don't surprise me with it, it burns a little bit.
You know what? How about you have a little warning before and say something if you're wandering in the dark. Wait.
I did.
And she's not saying, like, she doesn't know that you were the one that snuck up on her. She's just like, just in case, considering you're a vampire, you gotta say something so you don't sneak up on people.
It's actually really hard for me not to sneak up on you. But I will try. I don't have a pulse, I don't breathe, I'm very light.
I guess that explains why you don't sleep.
Yes, and another side effect that I hate is I am extremely bored at night. I need books or something.
Well, we got a whole study.
Yes.
Horticulture.
Is this all on
For
farming?
something more interesting.
A lot of it's horticulture. The previous owner liked
a
that.
lot. She's just like, really exploring the area.
The paladin's just like, well, you can always have that lovely garden back there full of vegetables or fruits, whatever.
I'm sure she'll
And
do.
since you can farm at night, I'm sure it'll be just fine.
There are some plants that can grow in the night.
You all are very accepting of this. It's just so weird.
We both rolled really, really calm high.
I was expecting you to roll like that too.
That and I'm like half a bottle of wine in.
She rolled a 98 percentile. Dead. Makes sense. Another one of those downers.
Even if you had rolled low, you have a paladin and a cleric right there.
Plus there were plenty
That's
of hints.
okay with it.
There were lots of hints.
And I am going to ask them what their
There's
names are
also
because I still
lots
don't
of
know.
opportunities where you could have just disappeared.
Oh,
She didn't figure that out, but she
We
was still
haven't-
like, yeah.
introduced ourselves.
No, you haven't.
Well, this is the paladin speaking, am Greyloth the Golden.
Clearly.
And this is my partner.
Are we
Brandis
talking
the
partner
Holy.
or partner?
You're gonna have to figure that out.
What was the name again?
Brandis the Holy.
And that's the cleric.
Not ISOUS.
Bit full of bit full of yourself there a little bit.
I mean,
Are you talking to the priest?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no. I'm not actually named that. The people that I've been around have given me that title.
I don't know it would be the paladin. That's taken to the name.
So, also, why is there a temple of Norgabur here? Why are you here? And why are we supposed to hide?
And why are you supposed to?
They both look confused at you.
At what point does the temple of Norgabur get so big?
Paladin's just like, I don't understand.
There is a temple here.
Yeah, of course there is.
we're coming from a completely different area.
So do we.
So everything
That's why
here
we're
is
here.
alien.
And you told me I was going to have to hide at some point.
Yes.
Why?
This entire region is worshippers of neutral evil to lawful evil deities.
I explained why there's an anti-paladin in town.
He showed up already?
He hit me a scroll.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, she's already killed somebody with it.
I didn't
Ah.
mean to.
That's unfortunate.
I couldn't read it. I tried to ask someone if they could read it. They died.
She's
Well-
very innocent in that aspect. She doesn't understand a lot.
You'll probably be able to.
Everyone keeps telling me to find a dead person to read it, and then no one can tell me where I can find a dead person. That's not me.
That's going to take a while to get used to.
You think it takes you a while to get used to?
Didn't that cleric guy, blind one, say go to Bill?
There's a chance you could just get a scroll that allows you to read it.
Or just learn the language.
What's the language?
You probably don't have that amount of time.
Nope. I
And
mean,
somebody would have to identify the language, and they'd seem to die every time they look at it.
I can't look at it to help you. Maybe.
Well, it's the
I mean-
scroll. Tell me more about this
copy a
potential
section of
scroll.
it?
Who would have... Is that not a magic
Scribe
scroll
over
that
it.
somebody would have to cast?
I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
No, because if you pick a random spot,
Comprehend languages, I
say
think?
like in the middle,
So are you offering?
rather than
comprehend
the top or the end,
Writing,
you might not get that
scribing.
stuff.
I don't know. It's something like that.
So if we get the scroll, are you offering? Because I don't know how to read that. I can't cast magic.
I could cast it on her so she could read that.
Deal.
Because anybody else would die.
Deal.
Unless there was some sort of magic device that you could put between your eyes and it.
a spyglass.
I know there are many devices that do that, but I don't know where I would find one or even how I would come about getting one.
Bye-bye.
Built.
Do you see money appearing majestically flowing out of my hands?
Yeah, it would probably cost more than all of us, including a lot of most of the things that we own.
You could attempt to find something in that lovely underground castle-like thing.
Including if we add in
Granted, that's
the Warnenberg
if it
lands.
hasn't completely collapsed. But you can try.
Feeling safer about it already.
Oh, also, money around here.
Yeah. What about it?
Is it money?
I mean,
We haven't seen anybody use money.
this village doesn't use a currency. No.
What about built?
Built? Yes. You have to have money for built.
Because I could go be a doctor off and on there for money.
Certainly could.
Or is it evil too?
Of course it's evil.
Crap.
You're surrounded by evil.
I am surrounded by evil.
You're literally
You
in a land
can't
of
go
darkness.
anywhere. Aothane and Anasse can go everywhere.
Well, nobody can detect anything on me. Except for I do not radiate holy energy
Not
because I am
yet.
still too young on the path.
But you have a whole...
So
Yeah,
you
but
actually
can-
get a hero class.
It doesn't
player?
matter. They could be like, detect. They could sense you.
Was it your group that we told? Basically, Brandos and I are the only light in the dark here.
How would you even manage to get here then?
We were sent here.
I am not part of light. Not yet.
That's all you cast.
Just wait.
That's great.
Don't tell me you're not part of it. That's the only thing you know how to do.
Oh, I can cast heal on you.
Before we
Yes, you
go
could.
threatening to cast things, let's focus on what's at hand. Because that does explain the Warnenberg estate a lot.
Huh?
The state.
The fact that I tried to kill you all those times?
No. The way all of the servants were.
Oh yeah, no, that's completely evil. Somebody in the Warnenberg family was incredibly evil.
It could, for all we know, is maybe not even the Warnenberg family itself, but somebody else that's unrelated, but was visiting there. There's so many different things.
That's why I died. Why?
Yes.
55. How?
I got 59.
I'm not entirely positive. I don't remember.
Ooh, the thing that night. Maybe it
Thing
killed
that
her.
night? What are you talking about?
The night before we got into that awful hallway. I was trying to find you because there was some monster roaming the halls. Maybe the monster killed you.
Let me roll percentile for this. 70. Maybe.
That would make sense.
71.
Just a 70 percentile. Maybe it was. We'll never know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember that night hardly at all.
I remember you going headfirst into a trough of cow's blood.
Or maybe you drowned.
But then, if she drowned in the cow trough, if that's what you're suggesting, wouldn't that mean that her body would still be there?
No, because vampires live again.
I'm talking about the night.
Speculating on how Anasse died, since we don't know.
We went from talking about
She thinks the monster already killed me. And we're both like, I don't know. I don't even remember that night at all.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know anything about the Warnenberg estate?
No.
No?
We haven't been here much longer than you.
How long have you been here?
About a month or so.
And if
That matches the timeline way too much.
if these people are so accepting of dark gods, how are they so accepting of you?
Because they're accepting of everybody. It's a community.
They accept anyone that helps them. Just because they worship, well, the vast majority worship something evil doesn't make them all evil.
Nope. They're just common people like you.
I don't think we're so common anymore.
I don't feel very common.
No, not after what happened at the Warnenberg estate.
What is this estate you keep talking about?
Do you know where all those rabbits are?
No.
It's south of here.
Where they
South
always.
of here. That's towards.
Do you know where you met us on the road?
Yes.
Half a
That
day
way.
wagon ride away from that.
It took us almost an entire day to walk from there.
Oh, well, that's still north.
There is a
Yeah,
rather
that way.
crumbled.
That's as far out as I've been.
Yeah.
That's where we
Have
came.
you ever seen a crumble, like a wall
Nope.
with a fence and a gate?
Nope.
Very foggy and dangerous. That's the Wardenburg estate.
So your friend warned us about the aggressive dogs.
Aggressive dogs.
This is something about the aggressive canids.
I understood nothing of what you said.
The aggressive canids.
Okay. We have food in this one.
Don't know anything about that.
But, from what we had gathered at the Wardenburg estate, it was a very horrible demise that everyone in the estate met.
Really?
Oh, it was awful.
Very terrible.
I'm pretty sure a rabbit turned me into a vampire.
Oh, that's another reason.
A rabbit?
That
The
none-
priest pipes.
I don't know.
That's another
Some
reason.
weird picture about the master's favorite pet. And he was drinking from a bunny.
They had awfully big fangs.
Was
This is another reason the
it
villagers
a
don't go up there.
statue of a little child?
Yeah. How do you know about that?
I've heard rumors about a wealthy family who had their child became vampiric.
It's another
But
reason the villagers.
it's so ridiculous of a story, it just sounded like a story.
Oh, it's very
like-
true.
Now, apparently that's a true story. Which
Yeah,
makes
that's
it a
exactly
very
why the
sad,
village-
sad story.
That's why the village can't pay their quote-unquote tax with the fur as often, because those things are vicious little beasts.
They're not.
They love me.
Well, that's because you're kin.
Apparently.
Oh, and it's also why nobody lives there because they don't have the deed to the area.
I do.
All three of us do.
But we just can't afford to rebuild anything.
Not yet.
You own this estate?
Yes.
It
Apparently.
was left to us somehow.
So why aren't you living there?
It's a ruin.
We have to rebuild, and some of us are still
Well,
human.
how big is it?
Big.
It makes this town look like the front gate.
It has a pond as big as an ocean.
Big as a lake.
Would that be a lake?
Yes.
It was big.
It has a hedge maze that was massive, a cemetery that was massive, a stables that could hold easily 100 plus horses.
Had its own church. Not temple, church.
Fascinating. Sounds like a very nice place. Like, is it so ruinous that you can't rebuild it?
I mean, maybe
Not
we
with the
could,
funds
but
we have.
we'd have to have funds, materials, magic, anything.
Well, I can talk to the villagers.
No.
I don't know if any of them are brave enough to go there.
Well, they seem
would
to be every
if
now
we
and
were
then.
able to. I heard about the evil creatures there, which I'm assuming now is those rabbits.
And more.
And if they like you specifically, Anasse, you could wrangle them up, and then there wouldn't be a problem.
Well, then we have to build a giant fence because there's more than 200.
And somebody mentioned big dogs.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one.
We
And
didn't
maybe
see
your
him either.
direwolf populated a little bit.
Oh my god. Maybe we were there like closer to 200 years.
Ooh, speaking of which, you probably have to make like a stable or something for your big dog.
Because we
He's
don't
gonna-
need
he's gonna
that
get-
thing in the house.
He's gonna get big.
We don't need it on the furniture.
Like, let me explain. He's gonna be the size of this room. He's a puppy.
Right now, we have no way of rebuilding. At best, we'll just
Well,
have to wait.
I'm sure.
Well, let's talk to the villagers and see what they think.
I'm sure they would be more than happy to help rebuild it as long as they get to also live there under the protection. You said it has a wall.
Ruined wall.
Had wall.
It has
We have to rebuild it.
So it gets rebuilt.
Let's not worry.
You know what?
about that right
Let's
now.
just go visit it sometime and we can investigate it further.
Absolutely.
We can show you what we're talking about.
Also, I'm really still interested in some of those other portals downstairs. I don't know what any of them are besides the one.
We need to make a book of notes.
You mean a notebook?
Yes!
You call it a book of notes?
Yes!
Great. We'll have to another time. You two need to learn Draconic.
I need to learn everything.
Priest just pipes up. Oh, I can teach you the portals.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Deal.
Yes. And they'll go to many places, even more than I went to try to find you. Anything else to discuss?
You said warn them or tell them that they're coming.
Who?
The
The,
horse
the
The
dude.
triad.
But this is all
He said that?
suspect.
Yes. I thought we had more time.
Yeah.
What?
He handed me the scroll, said and as I went to read it, he said, tell them they are coming.
What? What is it?
It's the big bad evil.
The tax collectors are coming. We thought they had more time
To what? To do what?
to put up a defense against them, but it looks like we're just going to have to hide.
All of the villagers or just you?
The two of us.
No, the three of you.
Well, she wasn't a part of the plans originally, but since she's here,
You're just gonna go through the portal?
well, now we know about it. That's probably the safest bet.
Did they know about it?
I doubt it.
Nothing a rug can't cover it
If
up.
they knew about it, I'm sure this village would have been burned to the ground.
Also, we need to install a lock on the study.
Are they afraid of magic?
No, they just don't want anybody else using it.
Huh. Interesting.
This is going to be
Didn't you have a prophecy or was it the other one?
that one. The one that had vision
I'm
dust.
talking about vision dust and prophecies.
Elspeth. The only one here that hasn't experienced anything remotely like that is Aoken, and she's slowly headed towards Wizard.
That sounds about right, huh?
I don't even know what
That's
she's
right up your alley.
I've never played a wizard before.
I'm not talking about the wizard. I'm talking about the not really having experienced anything weird or out of place until the very last moment.
Yep. Yes. Very true. But there's not really much to talk about. All we can do is plan
Yeah.
on what to do next. We don't have.
What am I supposed to do when they get here? Are we just supposed to act normal? Is there something specific they're looking for?
They're tax
They're
collectors.
looking for the taxes.
Then why do you need to defend against them?
Because I am a paladin of Sarenrae, and he is a cleric of Sarenrae.
They're the positive, and those.
I don't
are
mean the
religion.
village. I literally mean us two.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Oh no, 3 now, because Elspeth is now part of it.
He
Key. I don't even know what else to think of this one.
well,
It does feel like there's a billion options.
There's many options, and Nathan's just like,
I don't know what our main goal is anymore. Or if we ever really had one.
I have an idea, but I'll wait till Elspeth comes back. This
so
opportunity.
the hours are getting late. Did you want to head out to your estate tomorrow?
I'm
stay
good
there.
whenever, but they would probably like some rest.
It'd be good. We could stay there a few days, because I doubt that they know anything about it.
The estate?
Oh,
I
said
wouldn't
it's a
suggest
ruin.
being at the state by yourself.
They seem like they're fine.
We would be fine.
But what about your pets?
No, we're not gonna go by ourselves. You're going to take us.